The mathematical anomaly deleting galaxies. When we look up at the night sky, we are taught to see a perfectly balanced cosmos. Traditional astrophysics comforts us with the law of isotropy, the promise that matter distributes itself uniformly, weaving an infinite net of galaxies and uninterrupted light. Take a deep breath and picture this celestial ocean, where gravity keeps every planetary body in a peaceful, predictable orbit. This is the illusion of a welcoming universe, engineered to hide a much darker mathematical defect. This visual security conceals a lethal structural flaw. NASA's deep space probes have just found a 330 million light-year deleted sector, a violent anomaly where standard physics has been shredded and the plasma itself torn from space. It is a necrotic wound in the universal fabric where 10,000 galaxies were mathematically required to exist, yet they were erased without leaving a single trace of subatomic friction, revealing that absolute silence is not peace, but the symptom of a colossal deletion event. Our current survival within the solar system is neither a shield nor a triumph, it is a mere statistical paradox. From this moment on, we will open the classified files of this sterile crime scene, performing an autopsy on a hollow, mechanical, and cold void where the laws of thermodynamics seem permanently suspended. We are about to dissect the microphysics of this brutal geometric error, proving that our present stability is actually just a temporarily postponed execution. The invisible barrier separating us from this cosmic grinder is purely the chronological slowness of its expansion, a geological clock whose hands tick through inertia while the borders of this dead zone already devour and disintegrate neighboring systems. If you possess the coldness required to analyze the mathematical evidence of this silent extinction threat, leave a like right now to unlock full access to this classified file. The borders have not stopped expanding. The structural framework of the cosmos relies on the predictable distribution of matter, woven together by the immense pull of gravity. Across the visible universe, galaxies form dense, interconnected filaments, creating a mechanical web of celestial bodies. This vast cosmic architecture operates under strict mathematical laws, ensuring that every planetary system follows a precise orbit. Yet, this intricate machinery is not as perfectly balanced as astrophysicists originally calculated. Within standard models, the laws of thermodynamics dictate that energy and matter must disperse evenly over vast cosmic stretches. However, at the edges of the Boötes Void, the standard friction between galactic clusters simply ceases to exist. Instead of a gradual orbital decay, entire systems are abruptly stripped of their kinetic energy, halting the natural macromechanics of cosmic expansion. A massive thermal engine is completely freezing in deep space. This mechanical anomaly stretches across 330 million light-years, creating a brutal interruption in the universal fabric. Where 10,000 galaxies should mathematically anchor the surrounding structural grid, there is only a deleted sector of absolute silence. It is an impossible structural erasure, a colossal vacuum where the fundamental mechanics of mass and inertia have been permanently erased from the established physical record Something unnatural occurred here. The absence of this massive gravitational anchor creates an immense pressure vacuum, destabilizing the orbital integrity of every surrounding galactic cluster. Without those missing 10,000 galaxies to balance the cosmic equation, the edges of this spherical abyss are rapidly collapsing inward. We are observing a structural failure on an unimaginable scale, a creeping deletion that threatens to permanently rewrite the boundaries of our known physical reality. For decades, the academic establishment has sold us the comforting illusion of a stable, deeply protected solar system. We are taught that our geomagnetic shield and the vast distances between stars act as an impenetrable fortress against external cosmic forces. This reassuring narrative is a calculated institutional fabrication designed to mask a terrifying mathematical reality. The structural integrity of our local galactic neighborhood is already beginning to unravel invisibly. This manufactured safety protocol ignores the relentless expansion of the Boötes anomaly, which operates as a silent, invisible threat slowly devouring the cosmic background. Precision spectroscopic analysis of background radiation reveals that the boundaries of this hollow void are shifting, silently altering the gravitational tension of distant galactic superclusters. The perceived stability of our celestial environment is merely a temporary delay in an inevitable, cascading mechanical failure. We are not a protected species residing in a privileged sanctuary. Our existence is a fragile statistical anomaly ticking down on a merciless geological clock. The expanding perimeter of this dead zone functions like an inverted event horizon, systematically erasing the gravitational anchors that keep our local group from tearing apart. Every second that passes simply brings the expanding edge of this cosmic deletion closer to our coordinates. This is not a distant hypothesis, it is an active, ongoing cataclysm slowly reaching across the dark expanse to dismantle our foundational physics. If the illusion of your safety is finally fading and you want to access the classified forensic files of our collective end, hit subscribe right now. We are not a traditional science platform, we are the permanent archive of a rapidly dying, fatally flawed universe. If the boundary of this colossal void reaches our coordinates, the biological termination will not be explosive. It will be a clinical deletion of fundamental physics. As the ambient plasma is erased from our sector, the atomic friction that sustains biological warmth will simply cease to exist. The human nervous system is entirely unprepared for a biomechanical collapse triggered by the sudden suspension of fundamental particle interaction. Without the background thermal radiation to insulate the solar system, the external temperature will immediately plummet to absolute zero. The vacuum pressure will bypass our geomagnetic shield entirely, stripping away the planet's atmospheric layers with silent efficiency. You would not hear the violent decompression, as the absolute silence of this necrotic space instantly nullifies acoustic wave propagation. The surrounding environment becomes a perfectly sterilized, cryogenic extermination chamber. On a cellular level, the lack of gravitational tension and thermal baseline causes an immediate breakdown of molecular cohesion within our bloodstreams. The water inside human cells will simultaneously boil and freeze, shattering the fragile membranes in a fraction of a millisecond. This existential threat bypasses all organic defenses, systematically disassembling the molecular bonds that keep our biological architecture intact. Your body will simply forget its own structural coherence. There is no pain here, only a rapid, clinical unmaking as the fundamental laws of thermodynamics abandon our flesh. Your senses will shut down before the brain can register the colossal scale of this anatomical erasure. We are constructed of the exact cosmic matter that this anomaly actively digests, making our forms completely incompatible with the encroaching dead zone. The true horror lies within the inescapable physics. Our planetary defenses are fundamentally useless against a gravitational deletion of this magnitude. Neither the density of our tectonic plates nor the protective curvature of our atmosphere can deflect the expanding perimeter of this deleted sector. When the underlying geometry of space itself is permanently erased, physical barriers become mathematically irrelevant. The Earth is merely a fragile speck of dust anchored to an orbit already scheduled for systematic dismantling. The mathematical reality of this cataclysm leaves absolutely no margin for escape. This anomaly expands outwards at a velocity that far exceeds any technological propulsion system we could ever conceive. Attempting to outrun a structural collapse that casually swallows 10,000 galaxies is a laughable violation of basic astrophysics. We lack the mass, the speed, and the cosmic leverage to alter an equation where the universe dictates our subtraction. Humanity continues to build its fragile empires, blissfully ignorant of the colossal executioner silently marching toward our sector. We gaze up at the celestial dome, entirely unaware that the darkness between the stars is an active, predatory force. The cosmos does not negotiate with biological life, it operates on cold, mechanical precision, processing our eventual extinction with the same indifference as a dying sun. The timer is running out. This impending erasure is the ultimate classified truth that institutional science refuses to broadcast to the general population. If you comprehend the sheer scale of this inevitability, Share this classified file with someone who still looks at the sky and feels safe in their ignorance. Let them feel the crushing weight of the cosmic deadline ticking down on our temporary existence. There is no sanctuary left to hide within. When the boundary of this anomaly intersects our solar system, the fundamental event horizon of our existence will shatter instantly. The sudden absence of surrounding mass will induce a violent orbital decay across every planetary body. Gravity, no longer balanced by external forces, will twist the cosmic architecture into an unrecognizable geometric disaster. The delicate mechanics keeping us anchored will simply snap under the invisible pressure vacuum. This structural erasure will aggressively dismantle the Earth from the inside out. As the background thermodynamics collapse completely, our protective geomagnetic shield will dissolve, leaving the tectonic plates vulnerable to immediate fragmentation. The planetary crust will physically separate, acting as a massive industrial grinder that rapidly pulverizes the fragile biomechanics of every living organism. Flesh and stone alike will be systematically reduced to sterile, disconnected atomic debris. There is absolutely no technological sanctuary capable of resisting this degree of physical deletion. The universe operates on a scale of indifferent mathematical precision, where localized biological survival holds zero statistical weight against a collapsing galaxy. Every microscopic trace of our civilization's isotopic signature will be thoroughly scrubbed from the universal record. We are confronting a mechanical purge that strictly forbids any possibility of a structural pardon. Our fragile atmosphere will not slowly dissipate, it will be abruptly amputated by the approaching dead zone. The geological clock measuring our fleeting existence has already entered its terminal phase, counting down the milliseconds until the celestial framework utterly caves in. As the absolute cold of this hollow sector consumes the sun's fading warmth, we approach the unavoidable precipice of complete and permanent systemic failure. The cosmos harbors no inherent malice toward human life, but it also contains absolutely no empathy for our impending extinction. This colossal anomaly is a testament to the brutal, unfeeling mechanics that dictate stellar evolution and decay. There is no grand existential design protecting our tiny blue sphere from being mercilessly erased by the expanding perimeter of this cosmic void. We are utterly alone in the dark. When the final wave of this cataclysm inevitably breaches our solar orbit, humanity will not leave behind ruins or monuments. Our physical matter, alongside every planetary core in this system, will be forcefully pulverized into basic subatomic dust. This is not a dramatic tragedy, it is simply the universe mechanically reabsorbing the raw materials it temporarily loaned us, returning everything to an eternal, undisturbed state of absolute silence. All our celebrated historical achievements and technological advancements amount to a meaningless whisper against the deafening scale of this stellar machinery. The fragile illusion of our permanent dominance is actively disintegrating before the terrifying reality of this encroaching threat. We must finally abandon the arrogant assumption that we are special, acknowledging instead that our entire species is just a fleeting error waiting to be surgically corrected. Facing this overwhelming cosmic frontier, what is your ultimate conclusion? Go directly to the comments and type miracle if you blindly believe we were intentionally designed to survive this mathematical slaughter, or type mistake if you coldly accept that we are merely a biological glitch about to be systematically erased from reality. The void is watching, so choose carefully. Leave your mark before the screen goes dark.